Good morning, everyone. This is the word collage art, collage for the back of the cover of Wide-Eyed in Wonder, the book that we're writing through this curriculum series. Today's lesson is a great privilege time. I'm kind of giddy. I've been just praying in the Spirit all morning, but we're talking today's lesson about just what a great privilege it is to be alive and to that God's given us time as this great gift, that we can serve Him with our lives in time, whether you're a parent or whether you're working a job or whatever you're doing, you can do that thing for His glory and His praise, and we get to just be His kids, and that's amazing to me. And I'm grateful for time, for the time that I have. I think the older I get, the more grateful I am for the time that He's given me. And I'm grateful for the ministries that He's given me to do. I'm grateful for the way that He's always faithful. Just been grateful lately. Today, I've been grateful for time. So time is our great privilege from the Lord. But I'm grateful that I get to be creative in these videos. Like, how cool is that I get to just draw pictures for the Lord? Like, that's my calling. Like, God's like, draw pictures for me for cover. I'm like, okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to worry about being judged on it. I can just have fun with these. I can just have, I think that's the great thing about just trusting God in all things. I can just have fun with my life. I don't have to stress about things and just know that God's got it all in His hands. And that's the testimony right there, right? Like, that's the witness. I'm supposed to give my final witness to who He is. He's a God who just gives us peace and rest, and we don't have to walk in sin and shame, and we don't have to struggle, and we don't have to live without peace that God's given us if we'll just put our phones down for a second and we'll just get away from the terrible news every day, and we just pick up His word and read all of His promises. And if we just walk in His ways, and He pours out abundant life to us, and He helps us with the things we ask Him to help us with. And I don't know, I think being a Christian is amazing. Time. Certainly a lot better than the 20 years I spent away from Him, that's for sure. Kind of makes me cringe. I wish I had spent less time away from Him. But I don't think I would value my time now with God as much if I hadn't had the disobedience for like 20 years. I wouldn't appreciate the ability to obey Him that He's given me now, to obey His word and to seek to do His will every day, and to spend my life in righteous toil, or however that is said, that I can write books that speak of Him, and that I can draw these simple pictures that, individually seem to have no whatever, but in the end, they all come together, which is kind of like an object lesson, I think, in of itself, right? Like, through this whole year, we're doing all of these pictures and all of this word art, and all individually, maybe not spectacular or anything, but when you put them all together in the end and you put them on a cover of a book that's going to be part of this series, it's kind of like this really, like, God working all things together. Like, to see that at the end is going to be amazing, to see it all come together, to be able to hold that book in my hands and to be like, God asked me to do this, and I was obedient and did it, and here we are with the end result. To hold in my hands the faithfulness of God is amazing. I like how I imagine like how Mary felt holding Jesus in her arms, like to see the promises of God, to literally hold the Son of God in her arms, the promise of Israel, like the salvation of the world. And I don't know what that would have been like, that feeling of I've obeyed, I've completed my travel through this time thing, what God purposed me to do, I've done, and there's nothing better. So whatever God's called you to do, just do it with all your might. Do it as to unto him and not worry about what others think or whatever they feel. Or, you know, most people are just jealous that they're not strong enough to like obey God. They're letting fear rule their lives, and they're choosing not to walk in all the promises that God's given us in the scriptures. And I don't know, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord, and I'm going to do what God tells me to do, and come hell or high water. And I'm going to do it alone. If no one else wants to go along the journey with me, I'm going to do it alone. And God's called me to do it alone a lot. So, I dropped my pencil. So, here's our word, time. So yeah, so a great privilege we have is time. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.